Hi everyone. This is B from the future basically. I want to say I hope this tutorial gives a little bit insight for you guys how I make mine. I wanted to say I recorded this in one go. I do apologize for some things that happened or most of the time it's my own stupid mistakes. I decided to upload it anyway, so it's a little bit more of like a fun part, but actually showing the stuff that happens as well. It ended up being a little bit of a long tutorial, but I really show the stuff and talk about the things that worked for me really well. Let me know if this helped you out. Yeah, it's I had a lot of fun of making this. I leave down some links as well to the people that I was inspired by and some other things as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and I love you guys. Bye. Maybe some of you already knew or it's something totally different. Why I'm making this tutorial is because I'm using or a different method than most people do. Most people use VLC and I actually use a editing program for it, but I'm gonna show you guys that. I want to put down a, I don't know if that counts as a disclaimer as well. Like, first of all, English is not my native language, so if I do make some mistakes on pronunciations or anything of that sort, I do apologize. Um, Other than that, I want to give a huge shout out to Loza. She's also known as Legitimate Luffy. She made a very useful gift tutorial. I will leave down a link to the actual post. Please check it out if you actually do use VLC or are editing on a Mac. I am editing on a Toshiba laptop. It's with Windows, so yeah. So that's a little bit different. I hope you guys enjoy, and we're gonna start straight away. So the first things you want to do is like, because when you want to make a GIF, you need the footage for it. It can be from YouTube if that is good enough quality, or if you want to get episodes. I use two sites for it. There's one called Nyanpansu. This site is pretty well known for a lot of raw footage. A lot of people use this site as well. You want to look for this logo. I use it most. I used to download all my One Piece episodes here as well for my Natsuno Taizai episodes. I do use this site as well, Yan.si. So it's basic. I think it's the same, but it's a little bit different. I think. I don't know. It's probably babbling something. So when you have this downloaded, and you might use something different than I used to use. Like I use Bitcomet. You can use whatever you prefer of a program you have for downloading. You want to go to your program, and this is also the part which is different from everybody else because I'm too stupid to use VLC and also too lazy to do it. So I figured out this. Actually, I figured out this by myself, that worked perfectly for me. So yeah, so I open up my Sony Vegas. I use Sony Vegas Pro 12. It's a very old one, but it still does the job. A lot of people know this program as for AMV making, and you're gonna do, but technically you're gonna make small videos, and you're gonna import those in Photoshop later on. So the first thing you want to do is actually import the episode of the footage of what you want to do. You go to File, then you go to Import, and then you go to Media. A lot of people already know this, and then you go to the folder where you have the footage stored. As you can see, I'm pretty organized when it comes to certain things. Like I have everything pretty organized, but yeah, I already had something in mind that I wanted to do, because otherwise it's gonna take forever. So yeah, so I already made a GIF of this before. I actually made it twice. So we're gonna do this again. And yeah, we're gonna see how it maybe looks a little bit different. I don't know. So when exactly it's in there, you drag it here, press yes. That's basically stuff, and then you basically go to the part where you want to make your GIF. So we're gonna go up a little bit and go there, and press S for cutting, and then yeah, it's I'm using my demon kid. That's funny. Oh, this is horrible. Okay, anyway. Um so yeah, so when you have that cut out and have everything cut out that I want to edit, it's totally fine if you have a little bit over it, so you can have cutting the frames more easily later on in Photoshop. Do try not to make it too big, because then the import is gonna take forever. And my Photoshop intends to shut down itself. That's very comforting sometimes, but not really. So when you have this, yeah, it looks kind of weird. But when you have that, you want to go above the timeline, then drag it like through the loop region and just go this, and then select basically. Then you're gonna make it into a video, which is you're going to file and then render as. It's basically just like how you make videos, and then you're gonna call it something. I intend to call them like 1 2 3 until 10, because I'm stupid and I intend to forget some things. So and then you go to documents, and then oh yeah, I totally forgot it. This is why I just do. Oh, why? Okay. When you render, you can see here there's a folder. I use not to touch them because I'm so used by it. But I think. See, I'm learning myself. It's great to sorry for myself as well. So, as you can see, you can change the folder as well. So if you, I intend not to touch it at all because I'm very comfortable right now with where it is stored and pretty neat whatsoever. But yeah, so you're going back. So you're going back, and then you're going into documents, and then there he is. There's the derp, and then you press open, and this can take some time. It really depends on how many frames or how big the animation is. And then we do some part of these parts, and you will see whenever it's loading, this incorporates properties of it, so you want to stuff. So you have this, and okay. So then you have this, and then press OK. We can again. Layers. No, that's fun. It's cute. Okay, so this, I can see it has 50 too. Okay, so we have this. Yeah, as you can see, it has 56 layers, which is let me say that again, 55 layers or frames, which is a little bit too big. Of course, like the size is too big as well. Yeah. So you want to cut this down to. It really depends on what the sizes you want to go for. Like if you want to have like the small ones, the very small ones, then the size would be around 268 pixels width by whatever the height you want it to be. And if you want to have the big one, like for the very big is 540 pixels in width, and the height can be whatever you prefer. So I will put something on the screen as well for with the sizes that I use myself for my GIFs. So maybe that helps you out a little bit, but just like try what you find more comfortable and what works for you. So since we're gonna make a big one, you need to be you you cannot use this many frames. Like if they're smaller ones, you can use more frames, of course, because then the size is going to be smaller. But since we're going to use a big one, going to make a big one, I intend to go around 20 frames, or sometimes 23, 25. Really depends on what's going on actually in the scene. If there's much going on, like sometimes it doesn't really work, sometimes it does, but we're going to see. So first we're going to cut this down. I intend just go like every other frame. Okay, and then we're back to 20. So then you go to image size, and then you put 540, and the height is 257. That's what I'm mostly, my big ones are mostly around that size. And then you wait. So yeah, so then everything is like the right size. You go to this bar, or just go from 1 or 20 wherever, and then press shift and go to the other side, or go this and select all frames. But yeah, before that, if you don't have a PSD file like I have, I will leave some links to some or to a big resource Tumblr. I really use it sometimes still to get some new ideas, get inspired. It's a huge help. They have tutorials on what to do, sometimes in Photoshop for a more advanced GIF makers, more basic as well. There's so many tutorials about how to make GIFs, how to start out basically. Yeah, so I have some files of my own that I mostly use, as some people know who have seen my GIFs, and I intend to, yeah, you can see I have everything organized. So yeah, and they're PSD files. So I have here, this is something that I'm working on. That's not what I mostly have, like original templates, a soft past yellow, a square template, and a temp with subs with subtitles. This is my big one. This is my square ones as well. This is a small one. This is the actual small one that I'm using when I'm making small. But since we're gonna make a big one, we're using this. And if I'm correct, then this one also has like 23, as you can see. So there's like the subtitles here. So yeah, and we don't have subtitles in this. Sometimes I do, and it really depends on the scene. Some scenes I do prefer not. Most time I don't put subtitles in. So I have like, I put what they're saying in the actual thing below in the description. So trying to make them all fancy looking and everything. So so yeah, when you have this, then select all the frames here as well. There you go to the 3 lines or 4 lines. I can't even see, I'm blind. You go there and then select all frames if necessary, then past frames. What you want to do next with this is pretty important, I would say, is past over selection. So when you select it, I do think everybody knows what that means. Okay, this is not what I wanted to do. Oh my god, okay, that's my mistake. I forgot to press copy here, so that's the old one. That's cute of me. So you're gonna do that again. So you pass frames, pass over selection, press OK, and there he is. Okay. And then you select all the layers, and then you drag it all the way down, and then oh look, oh no, there's already edited stuff in. As you can see, I have many different kind of things going on. So there's some of them that I intend to use more often. And this is the most fun part, because this is where you can get to play and start to see like what do you find most comfortable to look at, what's comforting to the eye. And I intend sometimes to do see this and see like what's the actual difference, because I don't want sometimes that I notice as well as my own gifs as I go along, like they're too over edited, and in the end like the hair color changes a lot. In the anime though, like for Meliodas, his hair is like very very yellow, and I really like it more of a softer look. So this gives it, oh that's a little bit too bright, but this gives us more of a softer yellowish color. But then again, the background is also kind of yellow because it's a sunset kind of thing. So that's just things you figure out as you go along. I do say like this is the most fun part to do because you can get to play a lot more. Most of my gift scents are never really that much the same. Maybe they look the same, but there's always little tweaks in there that doesn't make them the same. I do intend to have the gift set in one full setting, so I make like the first gift and then I put everything in the same, or it depends on if the background is like different. If like one is very dark and then another moment is very light, then you of course need to change a little bit, because otherwise you have like almost like a black screen or anything. But that's then again that's the fun part. Just play with it, see what works best for you, and just roll with it. So I would say we're gonna go with this. I think this is very soft. Oh, this is so cute. Oh, I'm sorry. But this is like a very soft look, and this is actually a very soft moment. Anyway, so this is something that you kind of so when you have this done, you want to go to File, and then Export, and then Save for the web. I made some shortcuts for the sizing and for the saving of this, because I make a lot of GIFs, so I intend to make them like a little bit faster for me. And this is a part that you need to consider. I think this is the most important part. This needs to be, this thing needs to be under 1 MB or 1000K, which is kilobytes, and MB is megabytes, and I do assume a lot of people know that already. So and you want to have this, you want to have the looping on forever. And as you can see, I put my watermark here. I do that because there are some people that like to steal or repost gifs of others, even though there is still the option of cutting it out. But yeah, it's for myself. I like to do that as well. So I have that there. And that's just a little something. You don't have to, but yeah. So as you can see, I have it like now it's looping, and it's a little bit slow, and you can go cancel and then change the time between each frame. I intend, because it doesn't have that many frames, so you want to get it a little bit slower, so it goes more smoothly. That you want to have like a 0.15 seconds for each frame, so it's more smooth. And for some unknown reason, I do not know, maybe it's just me or it's with everybody, that the GIF intends to actually speed up on Tumblr as well. Like it goes slow here, but it speeds up a little bit more on Tumblr. I don't know if that's just me or anything, so it's just yeah, whatever. So then you press save, and you basically put it wherever you want it to be. As you can see, I've made a folder that's called GIF dump. Like I have all my GIFs dumped in here, and I have like an Nanatsu no Taizai folder, which I don't really use that much. Or I do use it, but it's not like I put stuff here anyway. And then when I'm making like GIF sets, I intend to use like folders, and then to put them all together in there as well. We're gonna put it here, and we're gonna call it 3, and then save. And there's also something called replace, and then save it. And that's basically you going back. You're going to Tumblr, you're going to your dash, and that's, well, this is I think like everybody knows what this is. Like you go to photo, and then you basically upload your photo, and or not. Apparently, that's this great. Okay, so upload photos, and then you're going to the folder where you actually put it in. Oh yeah, it wasn't here. See, I have like the memory of a freaking nugget, and then you have it, and it's all so soft and smooth and very nice. Yeah, so this is basically the tutorial. I hope you guys liked it. Um, do let me know if this tutorial is helpful or anything. I do again want to say just go to Loza's tutorial as well. He made a very informative one. Check that out. Check it out in the link that I leave down below for her tutorial. Yeah, and I hope you guys have a nice day or a nice evening, and I love you guys. Bye bye.